Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. We are now live. Our team has always believed in American strength and leadership. With today's World Liberty Fi's WLFI token launch, we're setting a new So World Liberty Financial launched. Yay, everyone's so happy. No one is expecting anything bad to happen from this, right? Just like the Trump token launch, nothing bad could possibly happen from another Trump-based token launch. Nothing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. No, but seriously, I actually don't really care about WorldFi. I think it'll be basically following Trump's path. The only drawback right now is that it's now that it's listed, and especially with leverage, it's going to get shorted to the ground. Personally, that's what I think, but we will talk about it in a second. The main thing we need to talk about is BTC. We always start with Bitcoin first because Bitcoin drives the bus. And for some of you, it's a short bus. You didn't get the joke? You deserve to be on the short bus. The main thing is that Bitcoin continues to show respect to this overhead resistance level from our all-time high at 124K. We drew this resistance level to this point here. We can see it being tested late last week. And actually yesterday, at about 5 p.m., it was testing it again. It's actually doing it over and over. One amazing thing that's happening right now is that we're seeing, we have kind of a low here on Monday, yesterday at what? 107,255, but we didn't continue to see it just dump lower and lower. See this continuation pattern that's happening, just losing the floor, losing the floor, losing the floor, losing the floor, but it's actually kind of holding right here. I believe that we're actually going to see Bitcoin push above resistance. This is a good test, not a pierce. This is almost a test that we saw early this morning. And because I live in Japan, I don't keep track of American holidays. So yes, yesterday was, or rather your North Americans, all of you guys, it's Labor Day today. So yay, you're looking at charts instead of working, maybe, I guess. I do expect Bitcoin to push above this level. Now, there was a big scam wick down here. Actually, all this price action is super duper scammy, just so you know. Seeing BTC rally up 2%. And literally give it all away. Like, this is essentially a BART pattern. I don't know how long you guys have been trading crypto for, but we have seen so many Bart Simpson patterns, it's not even funny. So basically, here he is with his spiky hair up top, right? So this is our Bart, and he is basically calling Moe's Tavern to say, can I speak to Amanda? Amanda Hug and Kiss? I love that. That's still one of my favorites. That one's from like 1990. I think 1894 is what it feels like, so long ago. But on the 4-hour time frame, we are looking at Bitcoin. I'm expecting it to push above. I like what's happening. I think it's actually going to push up higher above resistance, but it's really up to the market. That's what I think is going to happen. I like the fact that on-balance volume is slowly starting to curl upward, especially the moving average. Yes, it's done this back over here. Yes, it did it back over here. But I'm just getting the vibes that I think that it's ready to start moving up. I mean, I have to live up to the name Moon and Papa somehow, right? Yesterday's volume was good. It exceeded the 30-day moving average. That's a positive sign, even though it's bearish. Actually, yesterday closed up bullish, just under 1%. So I know things don't feel great right now. Trust me. And I've said for a while, like, yes, I'm buying the dip. Yes, I'm selling the bounce over and over. And I actually have bots doing that. I'll talk about that in a second. But as soon as we saw Bitcoin close inside of the cloud back here on the 15th of August, yes, I was expecting a bounce. We didn't get it. We dipped lower. So we buy the dip and we see the bounce. We sell the bounce. We buy the dip, sell the bounce, buy the dip. We haven't had the next bounce. So our short-term target right now, my short-term target right now is the TBO Fast line right here, which is at approximately 112,251 right there. That's the target where I'm expecting BTC to bounce. Now, what's interesting is that on the daily time frame, Bitcoin is actually above overhead resistance. Now we know on the 4-hour, it's going to be plotted differently. Even if I go to the normal, like the linear measurements, it's basically been piercing over and over, but I always use logarithmic on 4-hour and also on the daily. So on the daily, if we use linear scale, it's above resistance, but we're not really seeing that big reaction just yet. I do think that's going to be coming today. Ethereum is, I forgot one thing too. On the hourly time frame, our TBT stop loss hunting alert over here in the Better Traders Club Discord server fired again last night at 8 p.m. Just so you know, when we get a lot of these firing in a very short amount of time, it's never really a good sign. It really isn't. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Again, yesterday's reveal about the monthly candle is bad enough. Trust me, it's not good. Now, Ethereum unfortunately had a red close yesterday, down negative 1.76%. It's unfortunately back inside of the cloud. I don't really like seeing this. Yes, the macro trend is still bullish because the slow line continues to point up higher. Volume, though, did not exceed or meet the yellow moving average, which isn't good. Now we're starting to see a very bearish trend here in volume. We're not seeing it just go overwhelmingly above this yellow line. I don't like that. On balance volume on the daily time frame, it's starting to curl downward, showing that there's a bearish trend. But in regards to the TBO, yeah, being inside of the cloud is not good. It's a bearish sign. Unfortunately, on the 4-hour time frame, the dip and the rip that Bitcoin had right here, and it closed up, Ethereum's not really experiencing that right now. And as a result, ETH/BTC had a little bit of a deeper drawback, and it wicked below the 0.5. Now, it actually didn't close below the 0.5. Isn't this crazy? And by the way, if you're trying to see things the way I am, and you're using fibs, I always use log scale. Therefore, if log scale is enabled here on TradingView, and it's this L right here, you have to click this checkbox so that your Fibonacci retracement levels are based on a logarithmic scale. Just so you know, I've had some people ask about that. Now, this isn't really great, to be honest, but the fact is that it's kind of holding above the 0.5. I really would love to see a bounce from here. The regrettable news is that ETH/BTC printed a TBT Bearish Divergence signal right here. To be honest, we saw these before each of the recoveries. I'm trying to stay positive. If we look at the slow line, it continues to go up. Oh, I thought I clicked that. Here we go. The slow line continues to angle up, telling us that we have a macro bullish uptrend. And we can see very clearly the last 2 times that we saw a TBT Bearish Divergence print, we saw a bullish recovery for ETH/BTC back over here on early August on the 4th, and again here on the 20th of August. Now, will history repeat itself? I really hope so. I would love for that to happen. Can we expect it to happen? Let's just say sure. Why not? On the 4-hour time frame, it's not looking bad, but this is basically, again, the same thing where we see TBO close longs, the blue diamonds. We see an open short, then we go into the cloud, and then we see open long breakout. TBO close long, open short. There's our open long breakout. Close long, open short. So we're just going to rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. I do think that Ethereum will continue to lead Bitcoin though, and I still think that it's worth watching and worth following. Now, stablecoin dominance, this is actually a really good chart, and I'm excited to share this with you because this is positive in my mind. The thing you have to understand about combined stablecoin dominance, combining USDT plus USDC and those dominants, adding the point, or rather the period D, adding these two together gives us the best representation of where we are in terms of fear or greed, I guess you could say, in the markets. So without any other indicators, we saw USDT, or rather combined stablecoin dominance, shoot above overhead resistance that's been in place since April, when we had this massive drop on Bitcoin, April 7th. Then we have a point right here that it's drawn, so our high to our high. Whenever we see a break above this, it's not good. But I want you to pay attention to this candle right here. I'm not big on Japanese candlestick patterns, especially for dominance charts, because it's not as reliable. But we can interpret price-based information, even if it's for a percentage, off of what we're seeing. For example, seeing a big, long, thick green candle right like this, or a red candle, shows us there's a lot of strength, whether it's bullish or bearish strength. But when we see real indecision, meaning that we have basically little to no long body, or the wide body, or the fat body, like this thick green part or red part, depending on the candle close, and a really long upper wick and a really long lower wick, this is what we call a doji, or a doji, however you want to say it. So doji means that we're basically seeing indecision. The market's not sure if we're bearish or if we're bullish. And for this chart, if we see stablecoin dominance increase, that's bearish. If we see it decrease, that is bullish. Right now, things are very much bearish for the market. No duh. But this has happened ever since late August, unfortunately, when we started getting our pullback. But the great thing about yesterday's candle for combined stablecoin dominance is that this is telling me that there's a little bit of indecision in terms of fear. We might actually see a pop. And again, all eyes are on Bitcoin, always. If it can break above resistance, and again, this is just short-term resistance, honestly, I'm expecting things to go really well to see Bitcoin push above here, and we're going to see stablecoin dominance fall. But right now, it's really difficult because it's indecisive. It could go either way. But the reality is that we are in a strong uptrend. Even though the macro trend here on the daily time frame for stablecoin dominance is bearish, clearly we're having a pullback right now. Bitcoin dominance saw a big increase yesterday. And I know 0.93% does not seem very big. This is big. It's big enough, especially considering the fact that we've been just dumping and dropping from 66%. So Bitcoin dominance, has fallen a total of like 12.5%. Now it's like at 11 something percent. On the weekly time frame, we've been watching this thing fall more and more. Last week's candle closed up marginally at 0.28%. Now we're starting to see it go up higher. What's really, really interesting, if you notice here on the weekly time frame, see this green dotted line? This is automatically plotted or drawn by the TBO indicator. And when there's a big shift in a move of resistance or support, we're going to see these dotted lines move up higher and higher and higher, or lower. So here's support, and then it just got absolutely decimated. Support dropped more, and it's been staying here at like 39% for the longest time. But what's happening right now is, if you can see this, we actually don't have a green dot on this week's candle. It actually just moved up here, which is crazy. This is actually really, really, really interesting to me, because what's going to happen next is, as we see Bitcoin dominance fall, not necessarily right away, but eventually we'll start losing those floors over and over. This is the same thing that happened with resistance. We saw Bitcoin dominance shoot up here, push above resistance, and then it did it again, and it kept moving that ceiling up higher and higher and higher as it pumped higher. Now that we're finally seeing enough support, and we're going to see Bitcoin bounce a little bit, but it will start to go lower and lower and lower. We're going to see that floor taken out more and more and more. This is actually a bullish signal to me. It's going to take time for this to actually materialize. And again, we don't have any bullish reversal signals yet. We don't want to see them for Bitcoin dominance, but it is, I think on the 4 hour, we have TBO closed shorts, but on the daily, no such luck yet. We don't want to see that. Ethereum dominance is very similar actually to ETH BTC. It's printed a third TBT Bearish Divergence signal on yesterday's close. Not really a great sign, but again, the slow line continues to point up, meaning that the macro trend is bullish for ETH.D. I know that things don't feel bullish, and I know that things are down a lot. We're seeing a lot of bearish signs right now, and September historically is the worst month for crypto. But there's a possibility that Ethereum dominance will stay bullish so long as it stays above the cloud. Now, if ETH.D falls just like another 1.5% more inside of the cloud, it's going to be pretty rough for Ethereum in general. I don't want to see that happen. I don't expect it to, but we also have to be realistic. But again, the last 2 times we saw a TBT Bearish Divergence print, on the 2nd of August, we saw a nice rally. Over here on the 19th of August, we saw a nice rally. Again, here on the 1st of September, hopefully we'll get a nice rally up higher for Ethereum dominance, which would mean that Ethereum itself is moving up higher. But we also know that we saw some TBT Bearish Divergence signals here on the daily time frame, letting us know that we should be expecting a pullback. We're inside the cloud, which is a sign of bearish consolidation. So I'm trying to stay optimistic, but I also need to be realistic at the same time. Solana dominance, this one is looking, it's okay, to be honest. We have our TBO breakouts. We're not seeing that big impulse yet, but this is just the start of the move. I do believe that Solana dominance will continue to push up higher. Now, the one thing I'm concerned about is seeing these guys. So these blue diamonds right here, this one and this one on the 4-hour time frame, these are TBO close longs. I keep saying TBO. That's this indicator that's right here. It's available through a subscription. I almost said prescription. A subscription to the Better Traders Club. TBO stands for Trending Breakout Indicator. So these white dots are part of the namesake, that these are the breakouts. The trend part has to do with the cloud, whether it is green or whether it is pink. It shows us the strength of the trend with these 4 different moving averages. So seeing a blue diamond, the TBO closed longs, is actually a bearish symbol, especially seeing 2 of these close together. But I am expecting things to continue to push up higher for Solana dominance, which would mean that Solana does, or rather continues to do well. And the total ETH.D, which is the total crypto market cap, excluding stablecoins, E excluding S stablecoins, and this is reflected in dominance, had again another doji yesterday, very similar to stablecoin dominance, right? So we're seeing an inverse relationship. Why is that so? Well, if you look at the percentages, 92.86% plus 6.47%, we almost have 100%. We're still missing a little bit, but that's okay. It's close enough. With this chart, again, we're seeing a doji down here. Now, this isn't necessarily a bullish reversal doji. And again, it's really difficult to use that, or rather to go off of those Japanese candlesticks, in my opinion, those patterns on a dominance chart. But we are seeing a lot of exhaustion, and we haven't seen a snapback up to the fast line, which is currently at 93%, which would be an increase of 0.3%. Doesn't seem like a lot, but this is a chart that rarely makes moves that big. When it does, it's a really big sell-off or a really big pump. It's just how this chart works. Now, speaking of pumps and dumps, this is exactly what is happening over here on alt trading. Here we have 4 different charts for Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, and SHIB. So you can see all of these arrows right here. These are showing every single buy order, and every single red arrow is showing a sell order. So I have an Ethereum position now is automated. It was open back over here. It's been open for 8 hours. There's also another one that's been open since the 25th of August. That is down a lot more. So I'm waiting for this one to shoot up a lot more. That's okay, because every single one of these green closes right here, these were once red. And the whole idea of this strategy is to buy the dip and sell the bounce. So every single green arrow you see, buying the dip, and a red arrow, selling the bounce. This is where bots absolutely shine, because most people struggle with DCA. And again, this is all spot, not leverage. XRP, similar story. We're buying up here, selling the bounce. Buying down here, selling on the bounce. Litecoin, buying and selling over and over. Buying the dip, selling the bounce. Buying the dip, selling the bounce. This one's looking to take profit right here. It's actually probably going to take profit today. For SHIB, some of you are asking about that position on SHIB. I'm actually still holding that position open for SHIB, and I'm surprised at how well it's holding up. We'll talk about it in a second. But again, even if SHIB does not do well, maybe there's another market shakeout. Guess what? I have another order to buy the dip down here. Why? Because this is what has served me so well. This is exactly what I teach over at thebettertraders.com. So I told you guys we have other like AI generated images. My face looks so nice and soft. It's hilarious that this is AI, because I've never taken a picture like that before in my life. I don't even know if I can. It's so gentle. I look like I'm going to put someone to sleep. But anyway, all of our courses right now are 30% off, whether it's our 50 Minutes Financial Freedom course, which teaches you the fundamentals of these free signals on alt trading, which is awesome, and our advanced bot trading course, Mastering Passive Income, or advanced active trading course, The Smarter Trader. And if you just want to know the ins and outs of the fundamentals of cryptocurrency from an investor's standpoint, the Complete Cryptocurrency Investor at Mastering Assets is also on sale. But personally, I feel like 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom is the best bang for your buck, because it comes with one-on-one coaching, as do the other advanced courses. You never lose access to this course. It comes with free bot trading signals on alt trading. It comes with a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club, which includes access to the TBO, the Trending Breakout Indicator that we've been using, and I've been showing off all for this entire video. Now, I want to go back over here to TradingView. You guys know the gig. I actually have taken way more of your suggestions in this video. I have a lot of picks, but before I get to them, if you have coins that you're really interested in me checking out, and again, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to say it how it is. Leave a comment down below. I'm happy to review coins. I'm not making any promises that I'm going to choose every single one. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Kind of like Almond Joy. Or what is it? Is it Almond Joy or is it Mounds? Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Anyway, obviously I need more coffee. Yeah, right. Leave a comment down below with what tickers you're interested in. And if you're watching up to this point and you haven't liked the video, you haven't subscribed yet, you're my new best friend. Well, at least you're a new subscriber, but you can be my friend too. And help me to grow this YouTube channel up to 100,000 subscribers by liking the video, subscribing, and also sharing it with your friends and family that are interested in trading crypto. So let's get into today's picks. So of course, we need to talk about World Liberty Financial. Horrendous listing day. It's actually down a lot, but for trading, in terms of trading, it's actually not a bad chart for trading. Now, how do we trade charts like this that have just listed? With DCA and on faster time frames, for sure. Now, using the 5-minute time frame, you're going to get some good scalps into on this. I would be really cautious about using leverage. You can do whatever you want. You're your own person, but I really like using TBT divergence like this to find really good dip buy opportunities. Whether it's bullish or bearish, I mean, I'm really hesitant to say, oh yeah, this one's going to go to the moon. I just don't like how things have gone for this. But people can do what they want to do. And again, it just take a quick trip down memory lane, ladies and gents. I mean, World Liberty Financial, in my opinion, is going to be another Trump, which we all know what Trump looks like. Yes, it has these bullish reversals, but yes, it was kind of fun at first at $47 until it lost 85% of its value down to $7. And here it is just doing nothing. So yeah, I mean, you can trade it, you can have fun making some profits, but I wouldn't get married to anything right now, especially knowing how volatile Bitcoin is and it really needs to break above. But have fun trading this if you want to. It's getting a lot of attention. It's getting actually a lot of volume, which is a positive sign, to be honest. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad either. So you do want to focus on coins that have the most trading activity if you're going to be scalping or doing intraday trading. Pull. So this one has a light blue flag. All three of these do because they are showing me bullish breakout signs either on the daily time frame or on the 4-hour time frame. Now we don't have anything here on the 4-hour time frame for pull, previously Matic, but note what's happening here. We had a big pump to about 29 cents. We have a retrace back down to the TBO Fast line. So we could be seeing a TBO springboard bounce up here to about 28 cents, maybe. On the daily time frame, we have our first breakout. We haven't seen any more breakouts yet. It's pretty overextended. We're not seeing anything super duper hyper bullish right now for pull, but it's just doing an okay job, which is a good sign. IP, this one had a great pump over here on Saturday. Wick to wick, about 57%. I am so shocked that it hasn't fully retraced. That's actually a good sign. Even though Sunday was a little bit iffy, yesterday it fell down about 4%. I'm actually pleased that this one is holding up so well. Now, grinding sideways like this isn't really fun to hold, but for trading, yeah, this is actually pretty decent. Now, the main thing we want to watch next is how is volume? Well, yesterday's volume dropped off a lot from the Saturday and Sunday pumps, which isn't necessarily a good thing. It's not bad, but we need to see way more volume if we're going to see IP pump higher. KuCoin shares, or the KuCoin token, is looking quite overbought, and we have a second confirmed TBO breakout after breaking above the pump that we saw on the 14th of August. This, by the way, is something I've talked about before, which is called a predictive wick. When we have these predictive wicks, it basically clears out the order book, telling us where the price could go next. Even though it's taken quite a bit of time for this to happen, 17, 18 days, eventually we got there. So we have our TBO springboard bounce for 10%. It does the literal same thing again, and it does our predictive wick, and it's actually printed a second TBO breakout, which is incredible. Now, for some bullish reversal updates. So SHIB, again, I am so surprised that SHIB is actually holding up, whereas everything else is falling a lot more. Again, it's very, very, very surprising to me, knowing that this is still a meme, but so many other memes have just absolutely tanked recently. So on the 4-hour time frame, we are seeing more of these TBO closed shorts. The last one was printed on Sunday, so we haven't seen anything new. The only problem I have with this is that it's really high above this green dotted line of support. I really like to see these orange diamonds printed right above this level. We're not that lucky right now today, but I'm very surprised. Now, the next thing I'm going to be watching for is how will it respond to overhead resistance? Do I already have this drawn? No, I don't. That's really interesting. Okay, let me do this really quick. So we have overhead resistance. Let me go like this. Take this top to this. That's done, isn't it? Okay, cool. So let's go over here. Awesome. Wow, it's actually, honestly, I'm so shocked that it's actually holding up really well. The moment where this starts to hold up well enough that it pops above resistance, that will be a big deal. But keep in mind, we're seeing significantly lower highs on this. Yes, we have bullish reversal energy kind of sort of forming, but be really careful. Now, Bitcoin Cash, you guys know this, it printed 3 TBO closed longs on the daily. That's really bad. Even though the slow line is moving up, this lowest line here for the TBO, meaning that we have bullish macro strength. On the 4-hour, we actually have some good news. We have these 3 TBO close shorts, like this one right here that's printed below TBO support is a good sign. It negates our TBO breakdowns, which are bearish, explosive, predictive symbols from the TBO. But again, it's still kind of trapped. No, it's not kind of. It is 100% trapped below resistance. It really needs to push above here in order to regain bullish strength. Sky. This one had 2 TBO close shorts earlier, or not earlier, rather the middle of last week. And now it's slowly starting to show some bullish reversal strength, which is really good. It has short-term overhead resistance right here. It got pierced and tested several times. We haven't seen it test or pierce it again, but keep an eye on it. Metis was one that was requested by some of you out there as well. On the 4-hour time frame, I like that it's having closed shorts, but the only thing with this chart right now is that it just lacks a trend 100%. Yes, it has TBT bullish diversion signals. Yes, it has them on the daily, but it's still looking really weak. Now, the main thing about this that I like is that it has these TBT bullish divergence clusters. These yellow tabs are still part of these green triangles. They're just, the shape and the color changes. Oh, great album. The Shape and the Color, or The Color and the Shape by Foo Fighters. Really good. That was weird. But these symbols right here are really bullish. It's going to take some time. Just like Aptos, it's going to take some time. If it's the weekly time frame, expect a reversal to take weeks. It does not discount what could happen, what I expect to happen next. Now, update on Link. On the daily time frame, this continues to drop further inside of the cloud. Remember what I've said. When we see the price wick inside of the cloud, especially closing inside of the cloud, we're in bearish consolidation mode. So we saw a drop of about 3% yesterday. We're still above the 618. What we need to see next is a just market-wide bullish reversal. The slow line continues to point upward. I really would love to see a push up higher for Link. It's still bullish, but it's in bearish consolidation. Confused? Yeah, I don't blame you. XLM Stellar Lumens. This one is inside of the cloud. It has confirmed a TBO open short, this pink triangle, which is the bearish inverse of the open long. But this is great because it resets the TBO, so that way we will see a TBO close short, which is, again, my favorite bullish reversal signal. On the 4-hour, we actually have 2 recent TBT bullish divergence signals, which is why this is flagged green. Ethereum Classic, similar story on the 4-hour. 2 of these TBT bullish divergence signals. Zora, even though it had these TBT bearish divergence signals and clusters on the 4-hour time frame, we're looking at TBT bullish divergences. No cluster, but that's actually a really good sign. Now, obviously, not everything is super duper bullish. Unfortunately, XRP is just looking really bearish right now. It printed a TBO open short, but again, glass is half full. It will be printing a TBO close short, which is, again, an excellent symbol that we want to see that will precede a mega move, a mega rally. So, but right now it's just looking massively weak. It lost support down here from this pullback on the 3rd of August. It's not good. HBAR, similar story, TBO open short. Fartcoin, it has printed a 3rd TBO breakdown. This one has been really depressing. I thought that hot air is supposed to rise, but obviously the market doesn't really care about memes right now. They will make a comeback. I'm fully confident of that, just because They're so easy to manipulate as far as price action goes, but the trend is definitely down for this one. Aerodrome has printed a second TBO close long on the daily, which is a bad sign. On the 4-hour, it actually has a TBO breakdown cluster. 3 of these in a row. Really, really, really bad. It's not a good sign at all. Morpho, this one as well, TBO breakdown cluster, not a good sign. Jasmine was a chart that was requested by one of you watching. It's not really a good looking chart at all. The weekly looks bad. The daily is bearish. The 4 hours bearish. So you asked me, and like it's not looking good. Now, one thing to consider is that if we get a larger pullback, one really powerful thing about using this indicator, the TBO, is that it plots out really strong levels of support. So if Jasmine has a deeper cut, we're looking at support at about 1096 here, basically at a cent. And I know you don't want to hear that, but this is also a great buy the dip opportunity about 22% below the price. You could do the same thing here for Morpho. It lost short-term support, but there is long-term support here. Well, it's not really long-term, but it's the next level of support at about $1.47. If things get really disastrous, down here. But this is how I've been trading, is just buying the dip, keeping my assets free so I can buy the dip. Tron, this one is printed a TBO close long, which is really interesting. The last time we saw one of these is when it chopped inside of the cloud, but obviously it moved up a lot higher. The TBT Bearish Divergences clusters precede these TBO close longs. So now that that's closed, the next thing we are expecting is a push back up about 2% to the fast line at about 34 cents, but it's not a good sign, especially if we see multiples. Crow, this one had a nasty pullback yesterday. I was surprised actually. And it printed 2 recent TBO close longs on the 4-hour. Actually, the second one is in progress, but that's not a good sign. On the 4-hour, Aave, this one also has TBO close long on the daily time frame. So we are expecting the price to go back up to tag the fast line, just like it did back over here. But sometimes it's going to take a while for it to do this. Unfortunately, it just depends. But that's the next sign. And it did, by the way, if you've been following these videos, we've been talking about this chart for such a long time. It finally tagged the 786. Hopefully some of you took profit on that pump last Friday. Arbitrum, also TBO closed long on the daily. So again, we're expecting the price to tag the fast line, which is about 5% up, but it's a bearish sign. And ACH was requested by one of you. Strong bearish on the daily, strong bearish on the weekly, strong bearish on the 4-hour. But this chart's actually decent for trading. You can see, yes, I've been trading this chart for a while. One thing to watch out for is that there's a really strong level of support between we'll just say 1774 down here to like, well, basically 1700 to 1774. So this is a really good range to watch for support bounces. We've seen this chart pump, 70, 80% from here, sometimes a lot higher, 200%. So right now, no. But if it falls a little bit more, amazing dip buy opportunity, because charts like these are just crazy how they're so reliable. So yes, it's bearish right now, but we have support at about 1737. So keep that in mind. All right, with that said, I want you guys to go to thebettertraders.com. Check out 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. This is your chance to save 30% on our courses. And I want you to watch this video that I shared, how I rescued a trade that was down over 55% to close it in profit at 20%. Only in crypto is this possible. So I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks on how I do this using the AllTrading platform. Watch this video. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.